So, could the EU be on the verge, ladies and gentlemen, the verge of approving the Microsoft Activision Blizzard deal? Xbox about to launch another kitchen appliance? And Sony are forced to cough up some secrets. All this and much, much more in tonight's Xbox Monday Night Chat podcast. Roll the titles. Yokoso, 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 arigato gozaimasu. Welcome, 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 one and all. Konbanwa. How are you? I hope you are good. Today, Monday, the 6th of March, 2023, indeed. As ever, ladies and gentlemen, it's all about the Xbox Monday Night Chat. You're the chat. Let's get chatting. Anything about today's news items, just anything Xbox related, gaming related, put it in the chat, join in. This is what makes the show it is. Your contribution, your involvement. So do please get involved, ladies and gentlemen. It is always much appreciated, and also makes me realize I'm not just shouting into the void. There are people out there, ladies and gentlemen. There are people out there. And as ever, let me know what games you've been playing this week on whatever platform you choose to play them. I'm always interested. Have you, ladies and gentlemen, have you tried Wolong Fallen Dynasty? Let me know in the chat, of course, and all of that. Before we dive into the early birds and say hello, I have tried Wolong Fallen Dynasty. I was looking forward to this game. It looked very nice. And, yeah, merrily on your way there, chopping up and slicing up the soldiers and the peasants, whatever. Yeah, the enemy, as you go. And then you meet your first boss. Proper boss. There's a sort of medium boss. There's a boss of the gang, but then there's the boss of the boss level. You meet your first boss level. This is still all in effectively the tutorial level. Oh my gosh, is all I'm going to say. I spent hours trying to best the tutorial level boss. How hard is this game? Like literally all day, nothing. Back on it the next day. Finally, defeated him. Or had I? And I was so happy. Cutscene. Well, let's just say, no spoiler alert, that happiness didn't last long. And although, ironically enough, I went straight back in, got to that same position straight away. So actually, once you kind of get the hang of it, you get the hang of it. But like, I was, at that point, I just thought, I need to clear my diary completely. Like, and just grind at that first boss level. Word in the street is, it's probably the hardest boss. It's almost as though the game is saying, like, if you can't beat this boss at tutorial level, if you can't beat this boss, you're not worthy of this game. Which is a bit non-inclusive, isn't it? I want to play. Don't lock me out just because I'm not hardcore Dark Souls gamer. Give us an easy level. No, there's no easy level. Anyway, I know all about Dark Souls games, and that's fine. I mean, like Sekiro, whatever. Sekiro. I struggled with that. But this one looked really fun. I really want to progress, and I need a long run up for it. I need to clear some time in my diary. I'm a busy guy. I don't have that kind of time anymore. Anyway, there you go. Let us jump into the early bird. Let's the stage dive. See what guy Sednar is in the house. Hello, Sednar. Lovely to see you as ever, sir. Al Davis. Hello, Clive and chat. Good to see it. You're such a toast to tease, Clive. You know it, Kirk. Oh, Wolong. It looks such a lovely game. Lovely game. Oh, can bite. I started playing GoldenEye because I had fond memories, but often, you know, we have a kind of nostalgic rose-tinted glass nostalgia. And like, I'm so used to playing modern games, even though, like, it's almost as though the nostalgia's not enough to get me over to enjoy it enough. And there's so many other things I've sort of been playing. Not really got time, still playing Elden Ring, says Sudner. No soup for you, little grasshopper. No, indeed. Oh my gosh. My little blind companion saying, get behind me. Get too late. I'm dead. Get behind me and watch your health. Get behind. No, too late. I wish you'd say get behind me a bit earlier, mate. Anyway, there we go. As ever, as I say, let me know in the chat what you've been playing and all of that as we dive. And we'll come back to the chat, of course, as ever. Let's dive into the news, ladies and gentlemen, shall we? Let's talk about Xbox Game Pass sensation. That is, ladies and gentlemen, Hi-Fi Rush, which is, by all accounts, a great game, although I haven't gone back to it since sort of, I was enjoying it. I've just not gone back to it. I've been distracted by other things. But, you know, it was a shadow drop. I think they knew they had a good game on their hands. I think the decision to shadow drop was like, this is good. Let's just get it out there. And word of mouth will send this one big time. January's Xbox Game Pass shadow drop, Hi-Fi Rush, has been the big surprise, one of the big surprise hits of the year so far. Pure Xbox awarded the game 9 out of 10. Lots of high praise. But look, what a crowd. 2 million players have enjoyed Hi-Fi Rush, and we can't thank you enough. They tweeted out. 2 million players. Are you one of those players that have jumped into Hi-Fi Rush? Just goes to show, if you drop a game on Games Pass, the impact, you know, surely this was exclusive to Games Pass. Let me just check out, is there a PC one? Yeah, there's PC version. It's on Steam as well. Okay. But even so, most of those 2 million, I imagine, would be from Xbox Game Pass. So that's pretty impressive, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty impressive. Jeremy is in the house. Hello, Jeremy. Good to see you, as ever. So, yeah, are you one of the people, are you one of the 2 million that have jumped in and played Hi-Fi Rush? I've just done the first few levels. Yeah, I've just been distracted by other games. That is always the way. It is quite difficult to compete for my attention game-wise, I think, sometimes. But there we go. Yes, so we've had the Xbox fridge, ladies and gentlemen. We've had the Xbox fridge. How about the Xbox toaster? You know, I'd be tempted. I've got the Xbox fridge, or rather my son has. I bought the Xbox fridge, desktop fridge, for my son for a little sort of Christmas treat thing. So it sits on his desk full of Pepsi Max. He loves it. He's sorted. He's got such a cool gaming room. Anyway, it turns out that images. Now I don't know how real this is, or whether it's a mock-up or what. But so this is Vicky Blake in Eurogamer. Images of an Xbox Series S themed toaster have popped up online. I see what you did there, Vicky. Popped up. Oh yeah. Pop-Tart, pop-up. Yeah, I get you. I'm not calling her a Pop-Tart. That's right. If you're looking for more branded kitchen merchandise, see, although I wouldn't recommend putting a toaster in my son's room. He'd never leave. I'm constantly clearing out empty cans of Pepsi Max, and he comes downstairs constantly making toast. So putting a Series S toaster in there. Anyway, apparently it's appeared on a French website. If you're in the UK, if you pop into Curry's electrical store, they have a little sales section by the checkouts, obviously. Usually sort of end of stock stuff. They always seem to have Xbox Series X, the Xbox mini fridge in there, if you're interested. Anyway, images of a Series S toaster have appeared. Here we are on this French website. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Is this real? Is it? 2-slice toaster, 40 millimeter slots, 1 to 6 level browning settings, anti-jam function, anti-slip feet, all the norm, crumb tray, wouldn't expect anything less, defrost bagel setting, got to have a bagel setting in my house. Cancelled, although I was one of these people who bought a toaster and didn't realise they had a bagel setting for years. But now, of course, I use it all the time with my bagels. So, yeah, let me know in the chat, would you? It depends how much it is, I suppose. Say it's 50 quid. Is that a lot for a toaster? I mean, you can get cheap toasters. Designer toasters a lot more. I saw a nice toaster I was tempted by, but I don't really need one. Nice, just because it was a nice designery looking one. Like a Smeag or something like that. So what, 40 quid, 50 quid? Is that too much for a toaster? Don't know. No indication of the price. No indication of the price, though. Storage boxes, pen holders, toolbox, mouse pads. You ever seen all those? It could be an April Fool's joke, yeah. But these things, like, it was a joke, the fact that the early reveal of Xbox Series X, everybody goes, looks like a giant fridge. And then some clever clogs at Xbox marketing and PR thought, hey, why don't we give a fridge? So remember, they gave a giant fridge originally to, what's her name? That's what I'd really like. So here, look, here's at Curry's. These are the little ones. 10 litres. Not sure how. Is this the one I've got, my son? Yeah. Doesn't fit that many cans in, to be honest. 90 quid. But as a marketing exercise before they started selling the little ones, look, I remember this one. What's her name? Justine. As part of promotion for Xbox, they gave Justine this massive look. What a delivery. Imagine, like, I mean, she's got 7 million subscribers. But imagine, like, being able to get deliveries like this from as an influencer. Let's get to the goods. That's the back. Yeah, there we are. Look, a full size Xbox fridge, and that was all part of their marketing. How cool is that? I wouldn't mind a full size Xbox fridge, but I have to make do with the Diddy one. But now potentially can make do with the toaster as well, ladies and gentlemen. There we are. You know, we're bringing you the news here, ladies and gentlemen. This is top news, of course. There we go. New game revealed. I've not seen this one before, so this is new. Lamplighters League. Why don't we just play the video? Brand new game coming to Xbox Game Pass. Not heard of it before.
Complex. Only a true master.
Paradox.
I got it.
Ooh, only a true master, huh?
Exactly. These fingers are the pride of Cairo. Did I ever tell you about the time?
Are those famous fingers done yet?
Corporal, check that out!
Yeah, a lot of cutscenes here. It's a turn-based game.
Anyone spare a match?
So this is no indication of what the gameplay's like yet.
Well, what do you
not
know?
like that.
Didn't even get to use my gun.
There are other ways to solve problems, you know?
Well, there are lots of solutions out there.
It's got almost like
Punching.
a Pixar look to it there. The
Running. Oh, plan C again?
called superhero ones. He looks like that, doesn't he? The Lamplighters League. So here we are. This is more like it. So this is the nature of the gameplay, and it's turn-based. I like the design style. They are coming. Game Pass day one. So this is a day one game for Game Pass sometime in 2023. I love the design aesthetic, the whole kind of look and image. The whole creative design. I'm not a massive turn-based fan, but I do like the look and style of the game. Hats off to the art style. Pretty cool. See if we got any more dates. No, just sometime in 2023 is all we have. Set in an alternate 1930s, you control members of the Lamplighters League who set out on a globe-trotting adventure to stop a shadowy cult known as the Banished Court from taking over the world. With your band of misfits, recruited from all over the globe, you'll be able to survey and sneak through the battlefield in real time, picking enemies off as you go before positioning your squad for some turn-based combat action, ladies and gentlemen. So there we go. Brand new game announced for Xbox Games Pass, ladies and gentlemen. Resident Evil 4 is now available, ladies and gentlemen. Resident Evil 4 is now available to preload on Xbox, and you can install before you buy, interestingly enough. Resident Evil 4 Remake is fast approaching as Capcom puts the finishing touches on its latest Resident Evil overhaul following Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3. Apparently, the download size is bigger than Resident Evil Village. Clocks in at 67 gigabytes on both Xbox X and Series S. So if you've got an Xbox Series S, you better start deciding which game you're going to get rid of, really. Anyway, you can download it now. Just check on the remake. 2023. Oh, March 23. So only a couple of weeks away. Interesting. I wonder how it'll look and play. Look at that. There's obviously some lighting effect. They've obviously upgraded it quite a lot. Interesting. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Resident Evil 4 ready to download now. So you're all ready to play on, what did I say, the 24th of March. There we go. Toaster, that's another toaster. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us get to the meat and potatoes. Yeah, the meat and potatoes, or the meat and the tofu, or lentil loaf, or whatever it is if you're vegetarian. Let us get to the main subject today. Let's clear that. So it seems that the EU is, if rumours are to be believed, there's not meant to be an announcement until about the 21st of April or something, 24th of April. If rumours are to believe, the EU is set to approve the deal. This was in the gamesindustry.biz, which I have a lot of respect for. And it was based on a report from Reuters. EU likely to approve Microsoft deal for Activision Blizzard. Reuters sources, so these are sources from Reuters. So, yeah, proper sources, say the European Commission will be satisfied by the multi-platform licensing deals for Call of Duty. So basically, as we talked about a few weeks ago, the deal they announced with NVIDIA GeForce Now, Steam, who said they didn't, Valve, who said they didn't need a deal. They trusted Xbox, and of course Nintendo to deliver Call of Duty to Nintendo. Those actions seem to have satisfied the EU, according to these inside sources. Reuters is reporting that the European Commission is expected to approve Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard without demanding, and this is the key thing, without demanding it sell off parts of the publisher first. So the idea is, you know, the UK Competitions and Market Authority had suggested a possible remedy is to sell off the part of Activision that makes Call of Duty, which is not what Xbox want to do in order to get the deal through. So they came up with these other solutions, which were also suggested and suggested by the EU, guaranteeing Call of Duty to Nintendo for 10 years. Don't know how it's going to work, but they've guaranteed it. And of course, guaranteeing it, and Xbox PC games and all the Activision Blizzard games coming, being made available for GeForce Now, which addressed the big game not being exclusive, Call of Duty, and any impact on cloud gaming by supporting another cloud gaming service stroke platform. So, you know, it seems those actions have pushed the dial in terms of the EU's view. The outlet cites 3 people familiar with the matter who indicated that Xbox makers' previous pledge to keep Call of Duty available through platforms and services owned by companies will be sufficient to satisfy the Commission's concerns. And then a Microsoft spokesperson told Reuters, our commitment to grant long-term 100% equal access to Call of Duty to Sony, Steam and NVIDIA and others, even though Sony aren't agreeing to it. They've offered it. They're prepared to offer it. Benefit, blah, blah, blah. It all benefits gamers. So the actual ruling, we've still got to wait a good month and a half for. However, that, of course, does leave 2 major regulatory hurdles. The UK's Competition and Markets Authority and, of course, the US FTC. How much the EU's decision sways the UK and sways the US is, we'll have to wait and see. But interesting. So, interesting if whether these, sources, this is the Reuters. Yeah. 3 people familiar with the matter said helping it to clear the hurdle with its offer of licensing deals to rivals. So it seems, and they probably didn't just do that on a whim, on a chance that it might. They probably had some sort of off-the-record conversations with the EU to sort of get a sense of like, would you think this will help? Will it get across the board? And there's someone saying, well, I reckon if you can do that, it'll probably go a long way. These backroom conversations take place. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have to wait. We still have to wait and see, I guess. But that's interesting. But further to this, since it's Sony who are really putting up a lot of fuss, saying, like we've gone through the different arguments, it's going to impact on our sales, and, we're relying on Call of Duty. It sells so many units on Sony. To take that away would be a massive risk because we wouldn't be able to invest in first-party titles and innovation and all of that, blah, blah, blah. So Xbox are going, right, I tell you what, we've offered you Call of Duty. All right, well, if it impacts you that much, show us. Yeah, we're having to show you, our deals and everything. We're having to be transparent in order to get this deal over the line. Sony, you need to be transparent. So Xbox have not countersued, but have basically said Sony need to demonstrate that what the impact is. They need to demonstrate how much they pay for exclusives and stuff like that. And that's the interesting thing. So it seems a US judge had grants Microsoft access to internal Sony documents. What this means... Thanks, Clive. So following on... Sorry, that's last week's news. What this means is that Xbox is sort of forcing Sony's hand to say, how much do you pay for exclusives? How much do you pay to keep things off Xbox? Because we know you do. So how much do you pay to keep things exclusive to Sony, to keep things off Xbox? Fess up, baby, if you want to play that game. So, US judge grants Microsoft access to internal Sony documents on Activision Blizzard deal as EU extends decision deadline following Brussels hearing last week. So Microsoft has successfully won access to a trove of internal goes on forever, internal Sony documentation pertinent to its Activision Blizzard deal, something PlayStation Maker was fiercely opposed to. So they're saying, if it show us. If we're having to reveal, Sony, prove it. A judge has now ruled that Microsoft... Oh, that's the judgment. A judge has now ruled that Microsoft can view Sony's communications with regulators about the Activision deal. So they're saying, okay, what have you actually been saying? Because one claim is that Sony have been overstating the impact of Call of Duty. One of the things that Microsoft is concerned about the UK's approach is that they think Sony have overstated the impact that Call of Duty not being on Sony would have in the figures and the numbers to the UK. So this, I think, is part of that, and probably to the US. So this is part of that, saying, what have you actually told So, asking Sony to reveal what they've actually said to the regulators about the Activision deal. Show us the numbers. Microsoft will now be able to see how Sony has approached regulators and argued against the deal from coming to pass. If Xbox know what the detail is, then they can counter it, can't they? They can say, if that's your concern, if that's what you've been, if Sony, if that's what you've been saying to regulators, well, yeah, we've solved the problem here. We'll solve the problem for you. And view evidence of how Sony goes about securing its own exclusivity arrangements. Yeah? So Sony's saying, oh, Xbox deal isn't enough. It's not good enough. Right? Back in November, they were saying, yeah, no, they offered it to us, but it's just not good enough. So Mark was saying, well, okay, well, how do you go about securing your exclusivity deals? Reveal to us then. This is something Sony will not want to do. Yeah. So it goes on as well. There's so Tom Warren has a piece here. Good old Tom. And he burrows down a bit more. So the FTC case against Microsoft could unearth. So this is to do. So FTC is suing Microsoft, and as part of their defense, they're saying, okay, we need a trove request, information from Sony. So they put in that to the court. And basically, as I said here, Tom summarizes, Sony might be forced to detail its PlayStation exclusivity deals and how much it pays for blocking rights to keep games off rival services like Xbox Game Pass. Kotaku spotted the FTC Chief's Administrator Judge, D. Michael Chappell, has now sided with Microsoft's request for details of Sony's PlayStation exclusivity deals. The request covered deals made after January the 1st, 2019, including fees or agreements that prevented publishers from placing games on Xbox Game Pass. The judge's decision comes after Microsoft previously accused Sony of paying for blocking rights to stop developers from adding their content to Xbox Game Pass. So this is one of Xbox's arguments in America, in the FTC, that Sony have been paying people to block titles going on Games Pass. So it's a bit rich for Sony to be worried that somehow Xbox is going to make Call of Duty exclusive, which it isn't, and they said they're not, when Sony are doing blocking deals with people. Microsoft argues that the complaint in this case makes a number of allegations regarding high-performance video game console developers' exclusivity agreements with video game publishers. Microsoft states it's aware that Sony requires many third-party publishers to agree to exclusivity provisions, including preventing the publishers from putting their games on Xbox multi-game subscription service, and that understanding the full extent of Sony's exclusivity arrangements and their effect on industry competitiveness will assist in its defense. Sony will not want to be revealing this. So this is a good tactical move from Xbox. They've got nothing to lose. If they force Sony to reveal the information, it's good information to have. B, from a pure business point of view. B, they'll be able to counter it. They'll be able to focus on, that and use it as a counterclaim, that somehow they're going to make things exclusive, or there's a value in exclusivity. Or Sony go, well, we don't want to reveal that, so we'll just accept the deal, or we'll withdraw some of our complaints or whatever it is. So, yeah. Chess move there by Microsoft, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know in the chat what you think. We'll come to the chat, of course, as ever. Done that. Saucy. One last thing before we jump into the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I've never bothered with these. Do you ever bother with Xbox Ultimate Game Pass perks? I didn't even know they were a thing. I have Xbox Ultimate Game Pass. Anyway, it says here, although I couldn't find it, Xbox Game Pass users, or some Xbox Game Pass users at least, Ultimate members, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription, you get perks. Little bonuses, sometimes content, stuff like that. But it seems you can get off a free download of Evil Dead 2, the film, that is. You can nag the movie. Evil Dead 2, great movie. Sam Raimi. You know, he made Evil Dead. I'm just going to bore you with some film information here. Apparently he made Evil Dead, you know, like got some friends together, went out to the wood cabin. He got his family to invest, you know, and friends of the family, like a dentist or whatever, to invest in the movie. And they made Evil Dead on a shoestring. And then it became a kind of a video sensation. Yeah, back in the UK in the 80s, there was this whole kind of, because videos didn't get a rating. What do they call it now? I forget. Somebody from the UK will probably remember. But basically, there were all these kind of videos that got banned, and Evil Dead was one of them. Evil Dead 2 was the sequel, obviously, by Sam Raimi. Many of his filming style and techniques, I remember in the original Spider-Man, you know, the reboot, the original Spider-Man, which Sam Raimi directed. Darkman, I think it was. Lots of very distinct style Sam Raimi's got. Anyway, yeah. What do they call them in the 80s? All the tabloids used to call them. Video nasties. I think they were video nasties. Anyway, apparently it's a certificate 15 now. Evil Dead is a 1987 comedy horror from Sam Raimi that served as the second movie in the Evil Dead series 3 series. Anyway, I can't find it, but
Sorry, I don't know how to help with that.
Okay, Google, stop.
Things you could...
Yeah. So if you've got Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, like I have, apparently, and I had a look, you can pick it up in the perks, although I couldn't see it. Let me know if you're successful. It might be regional. I don't know. Let me know if you are successful. I should maybe look at the perks. I had no idea. No idea. Let's go to chat. See what you lovely people have been saying. The backlog is real. I'll go to chat here since we've only got... There we are. Yeah. The backlog is real, ladies and gentlemen. We know it. Metrics for games are so different Game Passes we can play and uninstall. Hard to say if 2 million is still playing or removed in another game. Yeah, exactly. It could just be an indication of those that have, you know, like me, just done the first level and then moved on to other things. That's always the nature. But, you know, we can always come back to it. ER Gaming's in the house. Lovely. Ron Slusher has an Xbox 360. It's a collector's item. Jonathan Rowley, how are you, sir? I hope so. They'll bring it all to GeForce Now, due to the merger. Exactly. Call of Duty. Look forward to that. So the company blocking Microsoft are the company with the most exclusive games and pay the most companies to make exclusive games for them. Exactly. Pot, kettle, black. I think that's what we call That's what we say, isn't it? Pot kettle black. Taking their games off other cloud services will not look good for Sony. Indeed. Got to get Microsoft lawyers for my next divorce. My big tip for avoiding divorce is don't get married. Still costs. Got Disney free for a while with perks. What? I could have got Disney free. Muddy mudders. Evil Dead was originally banned for the tree scene. I don't recall that. I'm not going to look it up, but I will look it up later. I can only see F122 bundle in my perks. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Usually with films, you're going to have regional, because what happens is different people own the distribution rights in different territories. So it could well be that. I'll tell you what's annoying me is that I'm just going to make that. I'm going to make it slightly smaller. We can all see. Well, actually, if I do that, it's not. Okay, it's fine. Yeah. I couldn't see it if I was brutally honest. I did look. I searched it up. But yeah, you're probably right, said no, US only. If you are in the US and you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, let me know if you can find it in perks. Just search Xbox Game Pass perks. And yeah, you'll see it. Yeah, it's confirmed. We have it confirmed, lady. Justin, this Justin, yes. It is confirmed. It is a US only. There we go, US only. Makes sense. That does make a lot of sense now. I can see that. Let me just check something, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people talking about the Xbox Series S toaster looks set to deliver next-gen snacks. Is this more... I'm just checking. Is there any update on the toaster? No, it's more the... just repeating the French site. Just repeating where the information was first discovered. Xbox... right. Microsoft Rewards. Xbox is giving away 2,500 free points with major games this spring. Oh. Any City Skyline fans out there, ladies and gentlemen? Cities Skylines 2 heads to PC, PS5 and Xbox Series X and S in 2023. Colossal Order's next-gen city planning sim promises more tools, mods and customization options. 8 years! It's been 8 years! 12 million sales later, it's getting a sequel. City Skylines 2 is getting a sequel. I know a lot of people are fans of it.
It's time to start from the beginning.
Better just check on that. Be interesting. Yeah, not actual gameplay. Imagine if that was the gameplay. Oh. Yeah, imagine if that's what it looked like.
This city
Sorry, it's my
has
headphones.
a story. Envision a world created by you.
Yeah, it's just the trailer now, so I have a sense of what it's going to look like. Yeah. Anyway, city sim builders,
You are the
Cities
visionary.
Skyline fans.
You are the creator.
Coming sometime in 2023,
Make
sometime this year.
cities.
Oh, I know what I missed out. Redfall Xbox cross-play details have been shared in Arcane community. So, it seems cross-play confirmed between Xbox and PC Game Pass, plus Steam, plus Epic Game Store. So, we can play with your Steam friends while on Game Pass version, or would... Okay. That was a question in the community Q&A, and Redfall have confirmed that it's basically full-on cross-play with PC. Which is good. We love a bit of cross-play, don't we? So whether you get it, I don't know, play on GeForce Now, or play, obviously it's going to be on Game Pass, download it on Game Pass, but you play it on the PC Game Pass, Steam, Epic, Game Store, whatever. Crossplay is going to be available. Coolio. This is the thing. So this is where I read just actually about this. On Axios here. So this is... I mentioned it earlier in the show that Microsoft were disputing the UK regulators' facts and information about Call of Duty. Remember, it's the UK that are basically the ones that were suggesting that Microsoft, if they were to go ahead with the Activision Blizzard deal, would be all right if they spun off the part of Activision that makes Call of Duty, something which obviously they do not want to do. That is based on certain stats and information that the UK Competition and Market Authority have, and Microsoft is saying, I think you got your facts wrong, mate. Microsoft says the UK regulator might block its Activision Blizzard deal acquisition has significantly overcounted the potential impact of making Call of Duty franchise exclusive. They're not going to do it. The UK, why it matters. The UK, I love Axios. They break it down. Why this matters. The UK Competition Market Authority has repeatedly expressed skepticism about the deal, in part because of the number of people it believes would abandon Sony PlayStation for Xbox. This is what the UK CMA is predicating their decision on. A YouGov survey commissioned by Microsoft in January found that just 3% of all PlayStation users would switch to buy an Xbox if Microsoft pulled Call of Duty, which they're not going to do, from PlayStation, according to a copy of the study shared by Microsoft. Of course they're going to share it. But think about it. We know how loyal people are. There's Sony ponies and there's the Xbox guys, you know? Is it really going to have that much of an impact that you're going to abandon your love for PlayStation, your Sony pony? Going to love, abandon your pony? You love your pony, don't you? You're not going to give up your pony? No. The Competition and Market Authority's own survey estimates that 15% of avid Call of Duty PlayStation players playing at least 10 hours, spending at least £100 on the series, would switch to Xbox. So you see, it's that frame of reference. They did a survey asking people who are avid gamers, of the avid players. You've got to get your surveys right. You've got to match up. You've got to have the same criteria, surely. So yes, of course, if you survey the avid Call of Duty players, who spent over £100 on the series in the past and play at least 10 hours, then that percentage might be more. The CMA's own figure for all PlayStation owners who'd leave Xbox is redacted from the public version of its recently released provisional findings, though it's cited as proof that PlayStation is likely to lose a significant share. Microsoft's survey found that 10.5% of Call of Duty gamers who ranked the franchise as one of their two favourites would have switched consoles. Be smart. Microsoft has repeatedly denied it would take Call of Duty away from PlayStation or offer it in an inferior state. But the CMA says evidence, including its survey, show Microsoft is incentivized to do so. Whereas Microsoft said there's no incentive to do it. It's not going to generate enough sales. The CMA's theory is that Microsoft would weigh lost sales of the game on PlayStation against Xbox sales, subscription sales, and other business metrics, then take COD exclusive. As we have said all along, it makes zero business sense to take Call of Duty off PlayStation. I know that. You know that. It's like any average person with an average interest in the gaming industry knows it would make no sense. It makes no sense to Xbox, which makes me question the UK Competition and Market Authority's knowledge of the gaming industry. Who are they being informed by? Or are they taking Sony at their word? Is there somebody there kicking the tires of what Sony says? Enough. Yeah? You need more sources. You need more information. Rumours said UK Gov's finding 3% of PlayStation players switching Xbox was too small to hurt Sony's ability to compete. So, reading between the lines, the UK survey found that a hypothetical loss of Call of Duty to Xbox and PC would send 9% of avid Call of Duty PlayStation players to buy a PC. Your pony lovers would more likely want to buy a PC, or a total of 24% switching from PlayStation to another platform. Microsoft's survey was focused on console switching. The only responses it gathered regarding PlayStation fans switching to PC were obtained through write-ins. Well, we're going to wait until April the 26th to make its final ruling, which is about the same. I'm going to say it's a day after the EU's antitrust regulator. That's going to be interesting. That will be interesting. I forgot that bit. I'd read it. That's why I mentioned it. Didn't realise I had it. Do you think Sony will be encouraged to put Xbox as a result? No, I don't. Because they're not the one trying to do a $70 billion deal that's being investigated by the Competition and Market Authority. So they can carry on being Sony. Oh, yes, Kirk. Yes. Or yeah, like, or the... that shape. Yeah? The circle. Yeah. With the X. On your toast. Love it. I love it, Kirk. Yeah, absolutely. I enjoyed City Skylines and Stadia, but not played since. Do you think Xbox games on GeForce Now will push Microsoft to upgrade their cloud offering, sit back content, knowing people want to... I'm not sure it'll... No, to be honest. I don't... I think they are quite happy. I mean, they will, they're constantly, I'm sure they're constantly working on it, looking to improve it and stuff. But at the moment, it's driven by Xbox Series X. So all they can really do is improve the pipeline, really. Whereas you look at GeForce Now, within about 15 months, so they upgraded, they launched the 3080 tier, and then within 12 to 15 months, they launched the 4080 tier. Xbox don't have that luxury because they just have the Xbox Series X. It's going to be another 5-6 years before we see another generation of Xbox. All they can do is improve on the actual streaming element of it, which I think we all agree could do with some work. When it works, it's fine, but So on that basis, no. I think GeForce Now already the winners, to be honest. Yeah, Case Ball, absolutely. Oh, konbanwa, Yoshida, arigato gozaimasu. Yeah, I think as consumers, we've already benefited. If you're a Nintendo Switch, well, I don't know whether you're going to play cool. Are you the sort of, if you've got a Nintendo Switch, are you the sort of person that play Call of Duty? If you've only got a Nintendo Switch, are you the sort of person that would want to play Call of Duty? I mean, I understand people who may, have a PlayStation, Xbox, and a Switch, or an Xbox and a Switch. But hey, the option's there. Younger people might. Kids who parents, get their kids a Switch because they feel it's more family friendly. Kid still wants to play the games that everyone else is playing. Don't know. The Paradox event really pushed out stats about cities. 97.8 Earths created cities. Wow. We have so much loyalty that we get both Xbox and PS5 instead of switching. There we go. Yeah, they know exactly. You stay got. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I think that's so. They've still got that capability, haven't they? That is with the current Xbox Series X sort of in the servers. They've still got that step they could go to, but they just have to work on the, like I said, on the pipeline. So yeah, actually, Suarez, I think that could be a next step, definitely. But I don't think they'll do it until they know they've got the bandwidth and it's working and stuff like that. But definitely, they're going to have to move with the times. It's a nice add-on. Cloud gaming for Xbox, but people will expect more. Exactly. And GeForce Now have raised the bar. They can't necessarily compete like at 4080 tier level, but that gap has now become bigger. So they're going to have to just, close that gap slightly, I would imagine. Definitely. So they still have that potential. Since the Xbox Series X in the cloud, the servers can pump out at 4K, they just got to find a way of improving the stream to be able to deliver it to us, which I'm sure they're working on, improving that pipeline and everything. Right, ladies and gentlemen, the hour draws nigh. Once again, I want to thank everybody who joined us live. Really, really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate your input and all of that. It's what makes the Xbox Monday Night Chat podcast go. I could just do this as a pre-record. But I like doing it live and chatting with you guys, seeing what you've got to say, sharing gameplay, sharing the news, sharing your thoughts, stuff like that. Hey, today we kind of thought, if the Xbox toaster is real, does it print the Xbox logo on your toast? Thanks to Kirk. You see, we get the big issues. We talk about the big issues here, the big Xbox gaming issues on this show. Things like that. So anyway, have a wonderful, wonderful gaming week and all of that. Why don't you join me for the GeForce Now Thursday chat on Thursday, oddly enough, same time, 10 p.m. UK time, or meet me back here, same time, same place next week on the Xbox Monday Night Chat. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you again. Remember to hit the likes before I forget. And if you are new, please subscribe. Arigato gozaimasu. Hit that notification bell. That way you'll know when I go live with great shows like this. Thank you. And sayonara. Manete. Manete.